Hi guys, my name's Liam. I run a clothing brand called Seas Apparel based in Cardiff. I started the brand in 2016 and really it's a brand to do with the outdoors, travelling, surfing, skating, anything really that I have an interest in. I went to St Teilos from 2008 to 2015, did sixth form there as well, and I'm just going to tell you kind of my story up till now. So in school I was a bit of, I guess, a class clown. Joked around a bit, got the grades I needed, but I wasn't, your A grade student that went on to do 5 years in university and got a degree and went on to tick all those boxes. For me, it was kind of more about doing something I enjoyed. And in school, the main thing for me was kind of keeping my attention on subjects like art, product design, PE, more practical subjects were like kind of my thing. And that was how I got into really having a clothing brand and doing all of that off my own back. In school, Miss Anderson and Miss Jones, I think she's now called, I had as Miss Gapper, taught me art, and they kind of said about doing foundation art when leaving sixth form. And that was the one thing that kind of made me notice that I wanted to kind of take what I thought was just an idea seriously as a career. Because obviously in school, as you guys probably are as well, is you're worried about the future, worried what you're going to do as a job, and thinking really far down the line, where I was in that exact same situation, not that long ago at all. So for me, it was mainly kind of finding something I enjoyed and something I wanted to put the time into. And foundation art is a 1-year course I did after leaving sixth form that enabled me to have an exhibition for a week for free to develop a clothing brand. And it was risk-free. It was a year of doing whatever art I wanted and having a bit of travelling involved. Went to Barcelona and etc. like that. So it was a good year of experience, making new friends, meeting new people, kind of bouncing off each other's kind of ideas as well. And that can happen in every field. So I know a lot of people who have done a foundation course in photography and film, and they're doing the exact same thing now, as they're now doing film as their full-time job through doing a foundation course. So for me, that was kind of how I got to where I am with starting a brand. But in school, I wasn't very good at revising and kind of knuckling down in exams. I got really anxious. I used to have really bad anxiety and stress for no reason really. I just get myself so worked up about getting a particular grade that I would never really fulfill what I thought was going to be the grade I wanted, which was an A or a B, even though I was never really predicted that at all. So for me, it was kind of finding something that I had an interest in and running with that and putting my all into that. So it was, I guess I'm doing the same now, and as when I was in school, like finding those things that I really do have an interest in and have a passion for. And luckily that's enabled me to do a job that I never thought I'd be able to do. And I've had opportunities come my way that I never thought would kind of happen, especially in the time frame that I've been running a business. So I started the brand Seas Apparel in 2016, and that was straight from the foundation course I did. And I had a part-time job for JD Sports at the time, just to make sure I still had a bit of money coming in while starting up a brand. It's not like you see all these YouTubers say, quit your job, go self-employed. It's not really that straightforward. For some people it might be, but in my kind of section of trade, it's not feasible. For me, I haven't got millions of pounds behind me from investors or whatever. I've done it off £60. My first collection cost me £60, and I just put the money back in, and that was kind of how I went about doing my product. So the whole brand really for me was, again, doing something I had an interest in. So I love the outdoors, I love travel, the environment, and really just designing things that I would want to wear. I've always been into fashion and kind of how it's done, and logos and branding and names and slogans and things like that. And for me, I didn't really want to try to do what other people might like. I always wanted to do what I wanted to wear, because if I don't want to wear it, why would I want to sell it? And now I never have to go shopping because I just have my own clothes, which is great. So we've kind of noticed that when we do something we enjoy, it's a massive part of why I think I'm still trading and why I'm still ticking over and going through day by day with the brand online and in store. So as you can see, I've got the shop here. We've got over 180 different products. We've got books and magazines to do with travel, outdoors, independent lifestyle and that type of thing. As us as an independent brand trying to do something a little bit different, we want to be able to offer some information to people that want to do the same. And that's why I'm having the conversation with you guys today, is just to really give you my story of finding my feet in a career that I never thought was possible when I was sat in a classroom in St. Teilos only 6 years ago. Really, for me, it's been a learning curve from not really knowing I could do it as a career to now being my own boss and loving every bit of my job. So at the start, it was one of the main kind of barriers for me when first starting a brand was being taken seriously, and that's still a big thing for me now, is people taking me seriously. As I might look old, but I'm 24 and people think, oh, he's just a kid, he doesn't know what he's doing, or it's just a fad, he's going to go and find a 9 to 5 job in an office some point soon because it's just a bit of fun and he's not taking it seriously. Where for me, there's nothing else I'd ever want to do. So, you know, these things, there's a huge amount of learning curves and kind of hurdles to jump over in any field. But I think when you're self-employed, you only have your own mind to kind of get over. And for me, it is a mental battle all the time of when do I think it's right to do the next thing? When do I think I should push to the next level? And I'm always hungry to do more. And I think that's the thing of when you have a passion in something, you're always going to want to push it to the next level and find the next thing to tick off. I had a pop-up shop about 3 months after starting up the brand over like a Christmas period, gave that a go, and that just kind of gave me the taste of what was to come, really, of finding a shop that I wanted to do properly. So as I'm sure all of you know, buying online is now the thing to do, is you just click a thing and the next day it's at your door. That's not really how I wanted to go about things. I wanted to be different. I wanted to, again, do the thing that I had a passion in, which was having a shop. I love going into shops and seeing the product and seeing the setup and the interior design of the shop and the whole vibe, and offer a community space really from what I wanted to do. So that's why in 2017 I did the pop-up, and then 2018, in April 2018, I opened where I am now in Queen's Arcade in Cardiff City Centre. And you know, everyone's like, wow, you're in town, you've got a shop, oh my god, it's crazy, like I could never do that. And I always say, like, if I can do it, anyone can, because I'm not something like some sort of guru, or you know, I'm not the sharpest tool in the box, to say the least. So for me, it was really, that was what I wanted to do, and I wasn't really gonna take no for the answer. I was like, right, that's what I'm doing and that's where I'm going with it. And if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. You know, I haven't lost 5 years of studying to get me here. I've gone straight into it, and if I come out not working, it's not the end of the world. You know, it's something I tried. I had to try when I was young, and you put the hours in, you reap the rewards. So for me, having the shop and kind of finding my feet here has been the main kind of, not barrier, but the main thing I wanted to look at was making sure I'm sticking to what I have a passion about and have an interest in. And it's kind of grown. So now majority of our products are recycled plastic, organic cotton, vegan, fair wear, etc. Everything's printed by me by hand. So it means that every item I know that's going out on the shelf is of a certain standard. And that's, again, a huge part for me, is knowing that I'm giving someone a product that is of a certain level. You know, I still get a buzz every day about seeing someone wear one of my hoodies or wear one of my t-shirts, or even say, oh, I saw someone with that before. It's something I never thought would be possible. And the reason I think why I've done it is I've stuck to my guns, and I knew I wanted to do that. I knew I've always loved fashion, clothing and designing and artwork, and really just tried to put it all together. From having that huge interest in those things, I've put 150% into it from day dot, and just still doing that now. Most days. Sometimes I get a bit tired, but that's fine. And yeah, it's something that I think everyone can do. It depends on what field you want to go into. So yeah, for us really, like up to this point, I've tried to stick to what I have a passion into and really work with people I like. And luckily, the person who's filming this and takes my photos is also a St. Teilos student, so he's a very close friend of mine. And my designer, who works closely with me, has been a close friend since primary school. He also went to St. Teilos. It's nice to be able to work with people you get along with, rather than, you know, I've had jobs in the past where I haven't got along with a couple of people, or you have a couple of clashes, where I feel like if you've got someone who you've been through, you know, 6 years in school, 7 years in school with, you really bond and get close and kind of know each other like a brother or a sister type of thing. So yeah, I'd say advice from me to you guys is, you know, if you're worried about, you know, am I going to university? What university am I going to get picked by? And yeah, you come to this university, you can do this, you can do that. Always think about what you want to do rather than what you think is the right thing to do. I nearly ended up, probably sounds badly saying it, but I nearly ended up being a teacher by going to do a PGCE, which I'm sure a lot of people love teaching, but I was doing it after being told that was probably the only thing I would go into as an art student. There's not many avenues that are secure these days, especially in art and in most jobs now, obviously, as people have seen through COVID. But my idea was, if I'm my own boss, I put in the hours, everything should come with it, you know. And you know, it is long hours, it is a bit hard work, but when you do something you enjoy, it doesn't feel like a job at all. I haven't worked a day in the last 5 years, but I am out of the house probably 15 hours of the day doing stuff to do with my business. So I'd say advice to you is stick to what you have a passion in, and you'll put 100% into it then. And yeah, if you are concerned about, you know, I don't know whether I've got the time to be able to put everything into it, then do it on the side of having a normal job to start and find your feet with it that way. That's what I did. Yeah, I think everyone's different. You know, from my experience, that's how I would go about things, but someone else might say the complete opposite. And you know, you've got to look at how you learn and how you develop. And for me, I'm very hands-on, like I said, and it's different with everyone. My partner, she's a veterinary nurse, so she has to go to university to tick the boxes, to do the courses and the exams, etc. Where if I did that, I wouldn't have a jar of glue where to start. But yeah, so I'd say advice to you guys is stick to what you enjoy. And obviously when you're looking to maybe take GCSEs or A-levels now, just take your time on them and just focus on what you have an interest in, focus on what you have a passion in, and really just concentrate on what you want to do going forward rather than what you think might be what all other people are doing, or what you're told to do by maybe parents or friends or teachers or whoever's there to chat to you about maybe your future. End of the day, it is yours. So that's what I didn't notice at the start, and now I have noticed it, and I would never look back, to be honest. Hopefully I'd never have to get another job, that's the plan. If I was in school now, I would hope to have conversations like these with people, of saying that self-employment is an avenue to go down, because I never had that, and if I had, I think I would have done this considerably earlier and had more experience and, you know, learned from my mistakes a lot earlier on. And hopefully I can inspire you guys to maybe not take the risk, but do the thing that's right for you. So hopefully my message of, you know, stay motivated, do what you have an interest in and have a passion for, find what you love, and the rest should follow, really. If you're putting in the time, you should hopefully get the rewards back. And luckily for me, I'm able to put in a lot of time with having my own space to print in and having a shop, etc. And I'm overwhelmed every day by the support I get from customers, and even people that don't necessarily buy anything, but they just want to pop in and see how I'm doing, see if everything's ticking over and I'm still going. And obviously it's a hard year for everyone, businesses and students, you know, not knowing what exams you're going to have coming up, or even if you are having exams, or if you're going to be in school or studying from home. And I know if I was in that situation of having to study at home, I wouldn't have, because I would always be outside kicking a ball around or running around to the nearest field or whatever. And I had a really poor attention span in school. So I think if you guys are doing a bit of work at home, fair play to you. It's I'm sure it's a bit of a mission. Yeah, so if you guys have any other questions or want to just give us a shout, we've got a website, it's just overseasapparel.com. We've got an Instagram, it's just over_seas_apparel. And any questions, ping us a message. I'm here all the time. We've got the shop, obviously, we're closed because of COVID at the moment, but when we're back open, feel free to come in. We've got a fantastic one-way system, which is great fun for all the family. So yeah, it's a pleasure to be able to do this video. I'd say speak to you, but obviously you're not actually there at the moment. But yes, thank you very much, and cheers.